Guys, welcome back to another video, and I am absolutely pumped to show you guys what real instruments can do for your songs. Now, this completely varies on what your approach is for the song, genre, or just vibe of the total song, but here is the song that I created for this video. Now, one thing just with real instruments in general, I feel like they add a sense of realness, real actual playing into your songs. And that is unmatched with any synth, because I think a lot of songs these days are just oversaturated, just overused with synths. And in certain genres, you can't really avoid that because that's just what it is. But I think music in general, everyone kind of leans towards, especially when they evolve as a producer. I feel like a lot of people evolve into using real instruments. For example, Martin Garrix always uses some sort of real instrument these days, whether if you're a fan of him or not. Zedd, Madeon, Avicii did too. All of Avicii's late songs, I don't think there was ever like a fully electronic song after even his True album. His True album was full of real instruments. So I feel like inside of every producer, every artist, real instruments are just really what gives us some sort of connection to a song. So I think that's why they're really important. Now, for this song, let me mute all of the real sounding instruments here, whether if they're played by a player or just actually played. So here's what it sounds like without all of those now. Now, you could argue that we could just layer more synths on and it'll sound good, which it probably would be the case. But I think adding real instruments will make it sound fuller, give it more depth, and just make it sound better overall. So let's start off by talking about how I like to do it. So real quickly, I like to add one for the lead, bass, chords, and then the rhythm. So for the rhythm, I'll go over from top to bottom. I'll go over the rhythm, bass, chords, and then the lead. So for the leads, for this song at least, I added like a muted guitar, which it does play the chords, but it's acting more as a rhythmic element. You can hear the strumming a lot more in there. And if we come over here as well, there's another drone layer over here. Those are great to add too. So that's kind of in its own little category. I like to add just like you can call it ear candy. I don't know. I just like to call it like a drone. It's just playing the key of the song. But those are great to add, and that's that rhythmic section I'm talking about, which is huge for just the overall feel of your song. So that's like covering the feel of your song. Next, let's go over the brass stabs. So for the bass line, I love using brass stabs. I mean, it's just such a common thing these days, but it really gets the job done. And these aren't as powerful as I was going for like a Jonas Blue style brass, but this is what I got. And this is covering that low frequency area. So that takes care of that lower end. Next is for the chords. So like I said before, this muted guitar is playing the chords, but not as much as we can layer it with these. So this is playing the chord rhythm here, so these strings. And if I layer these together with these saws, here's what that sounds like. Let me play it without. Once again, just giving it that real feel. Now, these are played from FL Studio Flex plugin. Shout out Flex. Really cool plugin. Finally, the final thing that I love using for real instruments is layering a guitar over the lead. Now, you could use brasses, piano keyboards, flutes, anything. Real instruments are just a really great way to kind of just make it unique and make it unique for yourself. So here are what the guitars sound like. These are really, really distorted. So let me actually take the distortion off just so you guys can kind of hear what it is. And these were played by my really good friend Nate. So shout out Nate for the really good guitar playing. And one thing to note here is that these are all far back in the mix. I'm not just putting it in your face that these are real instruments. muted guitar chords really far back in the mix. You can barely hear it in the song. And then these layered with this bass, you can kind of hear these a lot more because these add a lot of punch. The brass adds like more character to the punch, I should say, if that makes sense. And then these strings, I mean, it's just, they blend together really well. So I'm not slamming you with real instruments. It's just the fact that they're there, like I showed you before in the before and after. Without them, these little instruments make a huge difference. But going back to the guitars, for the song, I did put a lot of distortion on because the original leads in general were pretty dirty. And all of the synth presets are from the new pack I'm releasing really soon. It might be out by the time you see this video, but they're all coming from Serum or Vital, so really cool sounds. But if I layer these leads with the guitar, so here's the guitar now, and then layering it with these leads just really makes it complete. It's just adding so much character to the lead rather than it just being a synth. So once again, let's go over it one more time. Here is the drop without all of the humanistic elements of the song. And then once we add together the chord, bass, the lead and rhythmic instrument sounds, that's when a song can really come together and give it a lot of life and a lot of depth overall. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down below. Let me know down below. I am working on a new sound bank, new sound sample pack, just for a lot of the mainstream songs that I'm hearing a lot and I'm just really digging these days. A lot of dance pop sounds, future pop, just a lot of that kind of style, I feel like, just with real instruments, is really making its way into dance music. So I'm working on some of that now. By the time you see this video, it might be out now, so go head on over to I'm also launching a website too, klingmusic.com. So that'll be launching very soon, along with a lot of stuff on there. And then I do have my current website now too, with a couple of things on there with the free presets and whatnot. So guys, go and check all that out. And I really appreciate all of your guys' support. You guys are amazing. So I will talk to you guys very soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace out.